Hi, I'm Leah Russ, and I'm here with Meghma here. And what I wanted to talk about was more of why we're doing this. So, when I wrote my book, Connecting the Dots Ancient Wisdom, Modern Science, it took me 8 years to write, and it is 450 pages almost. And 77 chapters, and there's so much information in it. And as I'm working on this and researching this over the 8 years, I'm becoming aware of, so many gifts that human beings have, that there's actual, physical, biological systems that support, that is evidence that we can do these things. And, that I was looking at how history has formed us, how these different paradigms and beliefs have grown up that just limit us so much. And I could see everything that was wrong. And I could see little ways to heal little things, but I felt overwhelmed and depressed by the thought of how do we change the system? And that I didn't know anybody that was smart enough to come up with a plan that we could create a system to replace the existing system. But recently, I know we're creating a new paradigm. And do any of us really, really know what that actually means? It means that everything's going to be new, everything. And so, how do we find our way within that? So, Meghma and I, we've been struggling to start a business with all of this because we need to support ourselves, right? And we keep trying to go towards coaching, and then we both each recoil from a lot of the things that are required business wise for you to start a coaching business. We literally physically recoil. We can't make ourselves do it. It doesn't feel clean to us. It doesn't feel right. And in areas of my personal life, I've gotten to the point, and maybe some of you are luckier than I am, and you've started this much younger than I did, but I'm just starting to realize that my body is so wise. And if it's not into something, if it is recoiling, that means I have no business being there. I used to think it meant I needed to push myself, that these were obviously areas that I needed to grow in. But I don't believe that anymore. Because at what point do we validate ourselves? Where are you drawing that line? and and how do we support ourselves fully if we're still trying to push ourselves into things that don't feel wholesome to us? And I don't care what that is. If it doesn't feel wholesome to you, stop and breathe and love yourself and open your eyes. What Meghma and I have decided to do is we're going to start leaning into what feels right to us business wise. And what I wanted to talk to you about, getting back to that first thing that I was saying about how I couldn't see how to move forward. And I was really despairing. And what I've realized, I believe, and we are going to start a project, we're doing an experiment for the next year. And you guys can follow with us and see how it goes. But with this joy and alignment project, this is what we're making a commitment to. And we're going to see what happens to our business as we make this commitment and follow it through for a year. And I believe that we are going to be creating the new paradigm that we are looking for, or at least a part of it, at least a working model. And that I think that as more and more people practice this and turn to this place where they are committing to joy and alignment, I think maybe the world will just transform. Kind of a radical idea, but come on, what we focus on grows. So this is an experiment we're committing to for the next year. Please join us.
Yeah, so I mean, you covered it pretty well. And
Sorry.
I just want to put into my own words and kind of repeat, because honestly, what we have experienced is there cannot be enough reminders, because we want to remind ourselves of these lessons, and people who are listening to us and following our journey. We are so much conditioned into finding faults with ourselves when something is not working for us. We then go into this whole idea of forcing ourselves to function in systems that are actually dysfunctional. All the existing or the old paradigm systems around business, around education, economy, and all that, increases the gap between the giver and the receiver. And somehow in the receiving end, when I am in the receiving end, I am stuck into thinking that I never will be enough, and never knowing when it's my time to share my voice. And that is an energy or a structure that we do not want in our work. And we want to actually nurture people to share their own voice and help us create this template of new art, because it's not a job for two people or even 500 people. It's a big energetic work, and we need all hands on board. So that's why we are going to share our journey and these lessons and reminders, and believe it, that we can create an entirely different world than what has been given to us.
I love that so much. And I am so excited to take another year-long journey with you, Meghma, because this first year-long journey has been so amazing as we continually turn back to each other and look at each other and say, what are we doing here? How did we end up here? Where are we going? And allowing the universe, we are co-creating what we're doing right now, not just with each other, but with the universe, with God. And it's just such an amazing thing to get to the point where I'm standing on this threshold that I never even knew I was looking for. I mean, I did. I knew that I longed for real acceptance and a safe place to open deeply into myself and to explore the longings of my heart, of my being, for connection, for deep self-acceptance and feeling accepted and seen and heard by others, and that whole part of accepted. If you're a light worker, if you're an energy worker, a healer, you may even just identify as a misfit, because that's what those of us with gifts feel like here. Those of us who are old souls, we felt like misfits because we don't fit in to the paradigm that grew up to suppress all this stuff and to control humanity. So yeah, it just, if you don't feel like you fit in, whether you identify as a light worker or not, follow us through this journey and see where we go and see if it resonates with you at all. So, well, thank you. And we'll keep you posted as we journey further down this road. Bye. Love you.